tension behind the scenes of the K-pop music industry has finally been revealed. Internal sources reported that a shocking moment occurred when BTS's Jimin emotionally reacted to a secret song created by Jungkook. A question then arose: how could a piece of music that has never been released trigger an emotional quarrel in the studio that is known as the most professional space for world-class idols? This situation began when Jungkook played a private recording referred to as a secret song. No one expected that the work would provoke such a strong emotional response from Jimin. Several people present mentioned that the studio atmosphere, which was initially warm, turned tense in just minutes. The intensity of their expressions seemed to reveal the fragile side of an artist's creative journey, which is usually only shown in the form of the final work on stage. The drama did not stop at a mere difference of opinion. Information gathered revealed that Jimin felt left behind in the creative dynamic that emerged from Jungkook's secret song. For many observers, this was not simply a personal quarrel, but rather a reflection of the major challenges faced by members of K-pop groups when their individuality clashes with the collective identity. The public also wondered, was this a signal of a deeper emotional gap between the two, or just a momentary outburst from an intense creative process? This phenomenon became even more interesting because it happened in a space that has always been considered a symbol of harmony, the recording studio. For BTS, the studio is not only a place to create songs, but also a sacred space where ideas, emotions, and dedication are poured into art. However, the case of Jimin and Jungkook showed another side. Behind the glittering stage and global success, there are unavoidable emotional conflicts when artistic egos meet the reality of teamwork. Korean music experts assessed that this incident was very significant. According to them, the emotional quarrel in the studio could be a sign that BTS is at an important phase between strengthening individual identities and maintaining group cohesion. Jungkook's secret song, which was previously considered only a personal project, has now transformed into a trigger for a broader discourse about balancing creative freedom and loyalty to the group. Undeniably, this incident also drew emotional reactions from fans. ARMY, the name for BTS fans, was divided between those who fully empathized with Jimin and those who believed Jungkook had the right to express himself without limits. This debate spread on social media, making the studio incident not only an internal issue, but also a global topic that reflected the strong emotional bond between BTS and the public. Interestingly, although the studio atmosphere was reported to have heated up, some witnesses confirmed that the quarrel did not turn into a prolonged conflict. Instead, the moment showed how genuine emotions can be part of a healthy creative process. For many analysts, this incident was proof that music is not merely a product, but the result of a complex dynamic between humans, emotions, and art. The lingering question now is, will Jungkook's secret song ever be officially released? And if so, how will Jimin and the public respond to the work that once triggered an emotional quarrel in the studio? This mystery only adds to its appeal, making many wait with great anticipation. In an academic context, this case deserves to be seen as an important study of emotional interaction in music production. How tension, rivalry, and differences of opinion can in fact produce more authentic works. The incident between Jimin and Jungkook is not merely shocking news, but also a real portrait of the reality of art that is full of conflict yet rich with possibilities. Thus, this incident will be remembered not only as a studio quarrel, but also as a turning point that revealed the human side of two great artists who are often endlessly adored. From here, the public realizes, even behind the harmony of global music, there are always emotional stories that surprise, shake, and inspire. Although much speculation circulates, one fact cannot be ignored. Emotional conflict in the studio often becomes a catalyst for the birth of great works. The history of the music industry shows that many legendary songs were actually created after heated debates in the production room. This raises the suspicion that the Jimin and Jungkook incident was not just a split, but the beginning of something more monumental. Will this secret song eventually become a milestone in BTS's journey, or instead mark a solo work that defines a new direction in Jungkook's career? The emotional tension that occurred also gave a real picture of the dynamics of brotherhood within the group. Jimin and Jungkook are known to be close, but that closeness does not eliminate friction. On the contrary, from the intensity of the relationship comes powerful creative energy. Analysts believe that their emotional clash in the studio was a reflection of the same strong sense of responsibility for the quality of the music and the message BTS wants to convey. In other words, this conflict may not be about different interests, but because both of them have equally strong passion. The management's response to this situation was also considered interesting. Until now, the label has not provided an official clarification, as if choosing to let the moment become part of the group's internal journey. This silent strategy raises a big question. Are they deliberately maintaining the narrative so that Jungkook's secret song remains mysterious, or do they truly want to give the artist space to resolve differences privately? In the tightly controlled world of Korean entertainment, management's choice to remain silent only further increases public curiosity. Equally important, this incident created a new dimension in the global discourse on K-pop. BTS has long been seen as a symbol of unity, discipline, and harmony. However, the incident in the studio showed that even a group with a reputation as strong as BTS still faces complex emotional challenges. This provides an academic perspective that global success is never free from internal tension. In fact, from such tension emerges a narrative that is more authentic and closer to human reality. The impact on fans also cannot be underestimated. Many ARMY admitted to being shocked, even shaken, when hearing news of this emotional quarrel. Yet, others saw it as proof that their idols are not flawless figures, but ordinary humans who face conflicts like everyone else. These varied reactions show that the emotional connection between BTS and their fans is not just about music, but also about a very deep personal attachment. Now, the main focus of the public is waiting for the follow-up to this event. Will Jimin and Jungkook talk openly about the incident? Will this secret song appear in BTS's upcoming project, or will it be launched as a controversial solo work? Each possibility brings an equally interesting narrative, and therein lies the strength of this event. It opens space for speculation, discussion, and even academic debate about the future direction of BTS when examined more deeply. This incident actually reveals the paradox of the creative process. Music, often perceived as harmony, is in fact born from clashes. The emotional quarrel in the studio may be shocking, but at the same time it proves that art is never created in a space that is completely calm. Instead, restlessness, conflict, and the intensity of emotion are the fuel that drives creativity.